Applying to university is a big step in a lot of people's lives. When you think about it, once you've made the decision and once you've received an offer, you've basically agreed to stay in an institute for the next 3 to 6 years, depending on what course you do. So the last thing you want to do is get into uni, get into the course you want, and then feel like you've made the wrong decision. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jack Ray and I'm a student studying in London. And in this video, I'm going to go through a few things you should really consider when you think about applying to university, and how to maximize the chance that you make the right choice for you and make a choice that you won't regret. As usual, timestamps will be in the description below so you can jump around and find exactly what you're looking for without wasting any time. The first bit of advice, and arguably the most obvious, is to first make sure that the university you're applying to is offering the course that you want. The last thing you want to do is decide on a uni that you want to attend, do all your research on it, see what the campus is like, maybe attend open days, and then find out that they don't offer the exact course that you want. For example, I know a lot of people who maybe want to go to Cambridge, but the course they want to do isn't provided, and you think a university like Cambridge would provide every course under the sun, but the reality is that's not the case, and that's not the case for most unis. For example, Cambridge doesn't offer dentistry. For this reason, it's really important that you start this off as kind of like the first step in making your decision. Just make sure the university offers the exact course you want. Obviously, some universities offer the same course but call it different names, so also look out for that. The next step is to make sure you've properly looked at the requirements for the university. It's never a bad thing to be ambitious, but make sure you're picking universities that are attainable for you. In the UK, you get 5 options to pick potential universities, so always pick a range and make sure that all of them aren't completely ambitious, as you don't want to risk getting 5 rejections. Also look at the more smaller requirements, such as subject requirements and whatnot. Do they require a specific subject for the course you want to sit? Is there a specific admissions exam that you need to apply for and sit? If you're an international student, there's usually some extra steps. Definitely look out for that. All these small things that you don't want to leave too last minute, because the last thing you want to do is, like I mentioned, pick a uni that you really like the sound of and then realize that you either don't meet the requirements or you've left something way too late and now you can't apply. The third tip is to look at the university's teaching style. Different universities have different teaching styles, and it's definitely worth looking into it. Some universities are very old-fashioned and do a lot of lectures. Other universities are more hands-on and involve putting people into their industry a lot sooner and giving them a lot of experience. Even within the same course, there are different ways to approach it, and it's definitely worth looking into this when deciding. I know some students don't really mind too much how they're taught. At the end of the day, all they want is the degree that they're applying for. But if there is a certain style of teaching that you feel like you excel at or you find much easier to understand, then definitely look into this when applying. Tip number 4 is to look at the accommodation and location. A lot of people, when deciding what university they want to apply to, have the decision to make in terms of whether or not they're going to stay in their local area or whether they're planning to move out. I know some people prefer to stay close to home because it can be a lot more affordable and it's just a lot less uncertainty because you know the area quite well. Whereas I know other people who relish the thought of moving out and kind of starting a new chapter and facing new challenges. Regardless of the type of category you fall into, definitely do research on the location of the university. If you are someone who's considering moving out, then getting to know the location can be very important. The last thing you want to do is move out, go to uni and just completely hate the place you're at. Maybe if there's certain things you're looking for in a good area, then definitely pick unis that provide that. I know a lot of people who want to go to an area that maybe has a local gym or maybe has a lot of local cafes or greenery and parks, and if that sounds like you, then definitely make sure the place you're applying to provides those things. There's a lot of ways you can go about it. You can either search up the area and maybe go on Google Maps and have a look around, or alternatively you could potentially go up to the area, maybe drive there, take train, whatever, or attend any open days and just use it as an excuse to walk around the area and make sure you feel comfortable with it. The environment you find yourself can have a big impact on how much you enjoy your course and consequently how well you do in it, so definitely don't ignore that when thinking about the right university for you. Tip number 5 is to look out for some of the additional things universities offer, especially if there are some certain criteria that you really want to be met. in terms of how your course is delivered to you. Not all universities teaching the same course will provide the same opportunities. For example, some universities offer an intercalated year, which is essentially like an additional year where you move away from the course you're studying and you kind of study a different degree for a year. I know when I was applying to medicine, this was something I really wanted to have in terms of the universities I picked. So the majority of the universities I picked offered an intercalated degree within the medical degree. The main reason I wanted this was because I had other passions and interests outside of medicine, and I didn't want to completely get rid of those passions. And the intercalated year will give me an excuse to be able to study that extra course and also get another degree out of it. Another thing that some of my friends have even told me about that they really look for in terms of the university they apply to is making sure their university provided a year abroad. Like I said, a lot of people want to move out for university because it brings a new challenge, and on top of that, a lot of people want an excuse to explore and kind of get out of their comfort zone. And so if that sounds like you and a year abroad sounds appealing to you, then make sure you pick a university that provides that, because the last thing you want to do is start uni and just have regrets that you maybe didn't look into it deep enough. Tip number 6 is to do research on your university in terms of student satisfaction and what students think. Naturally, universities, when they advertise their courses or when they're trying to recruit students to attend, they obviously glamorize their university and talk about all the good things. But I think a good way to get an unbiased opinion is to look at student satisfaction reviews and see what other students who've attended the university are saying. You can also find websites online that let you talk to current students and get an idea of what university life is like. This is something that I did, especially for universities like UCL, where I went on a website called UniBuddy. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. And this gave me an opportunity to talk to students who are currently studying at UCL. For me, it was a really good way to get an understanding of some of the unique features of the university, which one, helped me kind of make a more informed choice, and two, really helped me during my interviews when they asked me questions like why I wanted to go to UCL. If that sounds like something useful and you feel like having that unbiased opinion and feedback will be good for you in helping you make that decision, then definitely check it out. And with that, we have reached the end of the video. So if you found the video helpful or you gained anything from it, then leave a like, subscribe, and let me know what you thought in the comments below. Or if you have any questions about anything I said, it could very well be that I missed out something, or you have a burning question that I kind of didn't answer in this video. And if that's the case, then feel free to ask me below and I'll do my best to get back to you. I understand if you're watching this video that you're probably thinking about applying to university, and there's definitely a lot of things to think about, so I wish you the best of luck, and I'm confident that if you've thought it through, then you'll pick a decision that's right for you. That's been all from me, and goodbye.